The son of a Philadelphia police officer killed. Tonight, the search for the gunman continues. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Jim Rosenfield. 23-year-old Hiram Hill was killed during what police are calling an apparent robbery, adding to the growing pain left by Philadelphia's gun violence crisis. Just take a look at the numbers now. We are only 24 days into the new year, and already we are seeing a 3% hike in homicides from this same time last year. NBC 10's...
Okay, so you have to stop right there. It's imperative that I stop there. 37 people have been killed in Philadelphia. Many of them with guns. Do you want to see what those people look like? Hit one if you want to see what those people look like. If you're confused about these numbers, 37, 3% up, 562 last year. Because I think sometimes some people, well, you know, people kill who they kill around, and if you're around people, that's who you kill. And listen, it's different. There's levels, volume. Why don't we understand volume? Why don't we understand levels? The around each other with us is different than around each other with every other group when they kill each other. All right, the Philadelphia Gun Memorial. All the fatal gunshot victims, not stabbed, not blunt force trauma, none of that stuff. Just gunshots. Already, look how many sisters is on it. And I guarantee you, many of these people you see on here from other groups, like this guy, they were killed by Sun people. I bet you dollars to donuts this guy was killed by Sun men. And all the names where there's no picture, these are Sun people too. Look at this. Remember him? He was killed by a Sun team. The Temple University student did a story on that. 17-year-old killed him. Look at all these sisters. Pregnant woman shot after baby shower. Was domestic in nature. Ex-boyfriend arrested and charged with killing mom in front of her twin sons. And this happened in broad daylight in the middle of the street. All these Sun people. This is who is being killed. Look at just this. Look at these 4 women right here. Shamika, Lindsay. And this was in 1 week. All these women were killed in Philadelphia.
Just take a look at the numbers now. We are only 24 days into the new year, and already we are seeing a 3% hike in homicides from this same time last year. NBC 10's Aaron Baskerville is live at police headquarters right now. Aaron, you spoke with some people who said they knew Hiram earlier tonight, right?
Yeah, Jim, Jackie, briefly, I had the chance to talk to a few family members and some friends. Of course, they were too emotional, too distraught to go on camera, but they want everybody to know that Hiram Hill was loved and cared for. Tonight, the investigation continues. He was 23 years old, shot and killed around 4:30 this morning near Broad and Allegheny.
Right off the bat, 4:30 in the morning on Allegheny. In Allegheny, I don't know. I'm not into Philly like that, but I do know Allegheny is a rough spot historically. Now, I don't know if it's gentrified now. I don't know if the part close to Broad Street is safer than other parts, but I know one thing. 4:30 in the morning on Allegheny, whew, that's like 4:30 in the morning on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Picker City. Not saying he deserved what he got or he contributed to his death, just interested in what he was doing on Allegheny at 4:30 in the morning. Because I grew up with the cop's son. Two of them, as a matter of fact. Very good friends, very good, like, brothers with the cops. You know, got one became a preacher, one went to school. He was a cool dude. He was a straight guy. He wasn't like no nerd or nothing. He was the coolest dude you ever meet. He had everything, girls, he could fight, all that stuff. But he went to school and became a preacher. The other one was a thug, did 17 years in the penitentiary. Straight thug. So I've seen that firsthand. It's kind of like a preacher's son. A cop's son is very similar to a preacher's son. You may see them, go extra hard with the nonsense because, of who their father is, and to counteract the peer pressure, and try to, prove that they're, more down. But this cat being on Allegheny at 4:30 in the morning, just interesting, man. It's not a useless piece of information.
He was 23 years old, shot and killed around 4:30 this morning near Broad and Allegheny. Right now, investigators continue searching for who shot Hiram Hill. They tell us he's the son of a Philadelphia police officer.
He was shot approximately 9 times, 8 times in the back, but they feel like it was a robbery. Apparently, he's the son of a Philadelphia police officer, and he was home from school.
Investigative sources say they are still looking into the motive and haven't ruled out this being a targeted killing. Detectives spent the morning back at the scene inside a corner store going through surveillance video. Last week, from January 15th through the 21st, the city saw 7 homicides, 29 non-fatal shootings, and what authorities call 145 gun violence incidents.
My adopted son was shot 9 times here in Philadelphia. It's only by the grace of God that he survived.
Luis Centeno works as a police chaplain for Philadelphia PD. He tells NBC 10 the city's law enforcement family will certainly be there for Hill's relatives. He believes slowing down gun violence should start inside the home.
The family has imploded. If we don't start focusing on the family, this will continue to happen. I don't care what billions and billions of dollars you put in.
This is why I push back against the whole family thing. Because if the father's a goon, or a thug or a homeboy, and he has all the, pathologies that go along with that, him being in the home is not a good thing. And if the mom is a chicken head or hood rat, and she's in the home's going to be a volatile situation. The most expedient way to fix this is to actually lock up the people doing the gun violence, the people who have the guns and are doing the violence, and deal with them harshly to send a message to the streets that it won't be tolerated, instead of what they're doing in Philadelphia with Let 'em Go Larry Krasner, a.k.a. Mr. Softy, coddling and criminals and not prosecuting a lot of different crimes and being pro-criminal and sympathizing with the thugs and criminals and letting them know that, they can get away with crime, because if they get arrested, they're most likely not going to get prosecuted. So they don't care about getting arrested. They care about being prosecuted. And they care about having to stay in jail. And if they're going to get out the next day, they care about that. Yeah, they don't want to stay in jail until their trial date. But if they're not being prosecuted and they're being let out the next day on either personal recognizance or on bond, what message are you sending? Forget the family, forget the in the home. That's long term. This needs to be fixed today.
I can tell you, in talking to community activists, a lot of people feel the same way as that pastor. Well, according to Philadelphia police, so far there have been at least 37 homicides this year. At this point last year, there were 36. For now, we're live in Center City. Aaron Baskerville, NBC 10 News.
Outpaced already in just the first month of the year. Aaron, thank you.
Homicide investigation is underway in Tioga after a man was shot and killed there this morning. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
I'm Jason Martinez, and police say the victim is the son of an active duty Philadelphia police officer. Another act of gun violence, Kelly, and this one really hitting close to home for the police department.
Jason, it certainly does. In just the past few hours, Philadelphia police identified that 23-year-old victim as Hiram Hill, again, the son of an active duty Philadelphia police officer. Investigators believe that he was shot at least 8 times over a robbery. Evidence markers at the corner of Broad and Allegheny in North Philadelphia climb up to 8. It's where the district attorney's office says a 23-year-old man, the son of a Philadelphia police officer, was shot multiple times just after 4:30 Monday morning. Police later identified him as Hiram Hill. They say he died at Temple University Hospital shortly after the shooting. A family friend says this is Hill, seen in this selfie photo on his personal Facebook page.
We believe it was a result of a robbery. There is video. I don't know where he was a student. I just was told that he was home from school.
A law enforcement source tells Fox 29, based on witness accounts, Hill left his car running to go into Maria Mini Market. And it was either when he was getting out of his car or returning to it when he was shot at least 8 times in the back.
And listen, I'm not faulting this young brother. But people in Philadelphia, anywhere much less, I don't care if you're an Uber driver, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, do not leave your car running to run into a store. Take the half a second to turn the car off and have to turn it back on when you return to your car. You invite, I think a lot of you guys don't understand. There, in every Sun neighborhood, there are carloads of teens, multiple in every neighborhood, riding around looking for people to carjack, looking for the ops to shoot at, looking for people to rob all the time. They're circling, they call it spinning the block. They're circling, driving through the neighborhoods, looking, searching for somebody to prey on. They're doing smash and grabs. They're doing all this stuff. When this guy left his car running and went in the store, maybe some of those guys just happened to ride past and, oh man, they got a car running. Went to go get it. He comes out. Now there's a confrontation. So they're not going to run away. They're going to kill you. It might not even take the car. They may just kill you because you caught them trying to take your car. And we saw a bunch of people over the first couple of weeks of the year, a lot shooting these guys, these thugs. There was like 4 incidents where citizens of Philadelphia shot these guys, shot these lurkers, these creeps, these marauders, these raiders that lurk in Sun communities. While everyone's talking about gun violence, no, it's these people, these dudes' violence, these gremlins' violence. But I mean, I just wish he wouldn't have done this.
A law enforcement source tells Fox 29, based on witness accounts, Hill left his car running to go into Maria Mini Market, and it was either when he was getting out of his car or returning to it when he was shot at least 8 times in the back. Homicide investigators returned to the market Monday afternoon to look at their cameras. The violence unfolding just hours after loved ones gathered across Broad Street to remember 50-year-old Desiree Jane Lett, who was hit and killed by a hit-and-run driver on Friday night. As of 11:59 p.m. Sunday night, Philadelphia police reported 37 homicides in the city so far in 2022. Hill's death would mark the 38th homicide this year alone. Troubling numbers. Now, investigators do say they were able to recover some video from that mini mart. They have not released it or said what it shows, if anything. But of course, anybody with information about this shooting is asked to call police.
All right, Kelly ruled the roundhouse. Thank you, Kelly. And a Philadelphia police officer who tragically lost her son to gun violence is sharing her story tonight. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Shayna Humphreys. It is a story too many parents in this city can relate to. Our Kelly Rule is live in Northeast Philadelphia. Kelly.
Shayna and Jason, it was an emotional and devastating statement from Philadelphia Police 12th District Officer Edwina Ferguson. She just spoke inside FOP Lodge 5 just moments ago about her son, and she did provide us with some new pictures of him. She says he was 23 years old. Hiram Hill was supposed to turn 24 in just 2 weeks.
So he was a football player. I wonder if he was playing football in school because the season's over.
Hill was supposed to turn 24 in just 2 weeks. She talked about, as a mom, getting that horrific phone call that her son was killed while she was on vacation in the Poconos and feeling like she could not get back fast enough. Now, investigators say Hiram Hill was shot 8 times in the back at the corner of Broad and Allegheny by Maria Mini Mart just after 4:30 Monday morning. His car still running at the time, according to a law enforcement source. Police say he died shortly after at Temple University Hospital. His mom says Hill was a West Catholic Preparatory High School graduate, played football in North Carolina, and was just 2 semesters shy of getting his bachelor's degree at Chapman University. She wants everyone to know who her son is and that he did not deserve this.
My son was employed full-time at Vision Quest to mentor troubled teenage children in Newcastle, Delaware.
So he was a mentor. He was employed as a mentor for troubled teens in Newcastle, Delaware. Who would have known that Newcastle, Delaware was the trenches? Was the stand. Everywhere is the stand. I've been telling you that, but yeah, they're going everywhere. But rough being a person in the community that advocate, a mentor, it's rough. It's rough.
To mentor troubled teenage children in Newcastle, Delaware. My son did not have a record. My son has never been arrested. My son had a license to carry an illegal firearm. My son was not exempt. I got pregnant with him at 15 years old, and I did what I had to do to raise him. My son respected me so much. At 24 years old, that baby didn't have not a tattoo because he went by his mother's wishes. And I did not want him to get any. Mom, I'm going to get your name. You know my name. You don't need it. He did not have, and it's nothing I can say bad about that boy.
Wow. So she was a teenage mom at 15, and she was able to overcome that and become a productive citizen, a police officer, someone that you can call on when you need it. When one of these thugs is threatening to harm you or posing a immediate danger to you, you know, when you pick up 911 and be calling that all the time, son, people, yeah, she's one of those people that will respond. So she's a success story to me. Her son in college, licensed to carry, no tattoos, a mentor, working as a mentor with troubled youth. This is a success story. y'all keep telling me it's basically 1865 in America. You can't vote. You can't live nowhere. You can't walk. LeBron James said you can't walk out on your step without being attacked by supremacists. Seems like this woman was able to overcome the odds, the great odds that America puts in front of some people all day. And she got the same result. The same Blackistanian result.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Now, Officer Ferguson did make a plea for everybody who loves and cares about her son to stand down and let the Philadelphia Police Department do their job in finding who killed him. We also learned tonight from some of Hill's friends that he was just months away from becoming a father. We're told his girlfriend is 7 months pregnant, expecting a baby girl. And Sheena and Jason, we did learn tonight that they are now planning to name her Hyra after Hiram.
I mean, there are no words. It's just crushing. All right, Kelly, thank you very much.